I were to die, I ask myself this, will I regret not doing it? I mean, it may not work for everyone, but it worked for me.
And so now both of you are still in the business together.
Yes.
Was it one of your challenges that you have to face?
There was certain point in our journey that we fought, especially at the beginning. Most important thing, every time when I go into prayer and meditation, is to have that calm heart, that neutrality. Otherwise, I'll be making decisions or saying things based on whatever state that I was.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Lift Elevate X Conversations. And today we have a very interesting guest, none other than Madam Joy Chia.
Hello.
Maybe Joy.
Yes.
Some of the audience might not know you. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Sure. So, okay, people when they see me, right, if they know me, they will always ask me, hey, how are you and your dogs? Okay, so that's always the first question. Reason is because I work with dogs. Okay, so yes, that's my profession. I work with them, I also work with a team. So I have a dog enrichment school.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what is the name of your school?
It's called Pawsible.
Paw, as in paw.
As in paw, yeah.
Oh.
Pawsible.
I see.
Yeah, Pawsible Enrichment School.
So have you always been in the dog business? Like when you were young, did you have many dogs? That's why it inspired you to start Pawsible? Or did you study vet? Like were you trained in vet?
No, I tell you, the only experience I had, right, was when I was a kid, I actually had dogs like growing up with me. So that was the only experience. But in terms of like really studying and like from young up to adulthood, no, I never.
You didn't aspire to be a vet when you were young?
No, I don't even, until today, I don't even want to be a vet.
Oh,
yeah.
How did your path cross in such a way that you choose to be, I would call you a dog whisperer and a dog enricher?
Yes, I love that. Okay.
Tell us more.
So I was actually doing finance, actually, before finance, I was in F&B.
Okay.
And I was doing corporate sales and marketing,
For F&B?
For an F&B company.
Okay.
And then after that, I went into finance. Then close to a decade later, I took 1 year sabbatical.
Okay.
So in that year, I actually asked myself very deep questions, One of it...
Deep questions?
So deep questions like, what do I really, really want? What do I really want in my life? What do I really want to do? So I graduated with a degree in business, but the question is then, business in what? I just know like how to probably run a business, but not sure exactly what business to do. So in that year, when I had my sabbatical, I actually kind of reflected upon some of the things that I was interested in my life. And, I thought about the things that I wanted to do, but I didn't have the courage to do it because it's not in the market. And
unconventional.
Super unconventional. Very, very unconventional. Because I think at that point of time, my interest and passion was, hey, I wanted to be with dogs. I wanted to work with dogs. So during that sabbatical, I actually had that moment where I really, really, in a way, embraced this part of me where I want to work with dogs, But I think at that point of time, when you tell people, hey, I want to work with dogs, then they will throw out questions like, so, want to become a vet?
Yeah.
Huh?
That's the easiest path. I mean, that's on the top of my mind, right?
Yeah.
Or most people's mind.
The thing was, I didn't want to become a vet. Then the next question, then trainer? I also don't want to become trainer.
You don't want to train dogs?
No, I just want to be with them. Right? Oh, so you want to open dog hotel?
Yeah.
No, I don't you know, and then of course, groomer. You want to groom dogs? No. You know,
Knowing Joy Chia grooming herself probably.
sorry. So I don't even want to become a groomer, right? So what am I left with?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so can you imagine, on one hand, I have this interest, I want to work with dogs. But at that point of time, right, I was clear in what I didn't want.
But you don't know what you want.
But I didn't know what I wanted in terms of helping me to earn that bread and butter.
Okay.
Like I knew I wanted to work with dogs.
But all those that you mentioned earlier, don't want.
Yeah.
Then
But those are the don't want, right? Are
Yeah,
those
those
that earn me, that can
earn
earn
you the bread and butter.
Correct.
But you don't have this image of what you want that can earn you the bread and butter.
Correct. I just knew I wanted to work with dogs. That was it.
Then what happened?
Then. So in that year of sabbatical, I took the opportunity to, work at dog daycares.
In Singapore?
In Singapore.
Okay.
In shelters.
Yep.
Just to make sure that it's not a fleeting thing. I remember I worked in a daycare. Actually, it was more like I volunteered my time, there. And I remember the first day when I came back home from that daycare, right, I collapsed on the floor. Because I was so tired. You know how difficult it is to run a daycare? Half the time you're mopping pee,
Wow.
Yeah. And then, you have to look out for the dogs and make sure that they don't get into trouble, It was very tiring. I told myself I would never set up a daycare.
And then?
Dun, dun, dun. That's why I say never say never.
Yes.
But at that point of time, because I was so tired, right? I said, I would never want to set up a daycare, never want to do anything, but I just want to work with dogs. So I think at that point of time, when I was going through all these, right, I think what was interesting was it made me even stronger in terms of my passion. Like even though how tired I was, right, I look forward to just wanting to be with dogs again.
So how long did you work in that dog daycare? I
For
mean,
a while.
how long did you volunteer your time?
Probably just a few months.
Okay.
Yeah. At one point of time, right, I told myself, I said, wait. Maybe it's not dogs, no. Maybe it's kids.
From animals to human. Joy Chia.
Just, I want to make sure it's very clear, because kids also quite fun,
But by then you were not married yet, right?
No,
Okay,
I wasn't married.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't understand. Now mother of three, very different. So at that point of time, I actually also volunteered with a kindergarten.
Okay. So from dog daycare to
Went to
human kindergarten.
kindergarten.
Kids kindergarten.
Kids.
Yeah.
But I have to be very honest. I think by the third day, it
At
was
the
very clear.
kindergarten.
Yeah, at the kindergarten, I was very clear. I said,
No humans.
Sorry.
No kids.
Yeah, sorry. So then again, it reinforced, that clarity that I really want to work with dogs.
I see. So you are those type that goes X, take. Then try again something else.
The
X.
X.
Then go back to the take.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
And you do it
eliminate.
during sabbatical.
I did it during sabbatical that whole year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then after that, what happened?
Okay. Then after that, right, I told myself, okay, I think I still need to revisit the dogs again. So then I went back to
the dog daycare.
the daycare shelter. And I think it was one morning, I think it was in December, I woke up, and that day, right, it was like as though something has been set in me. I don't know how to say it, but it's like as though it's like this is it already.
No more waiting.
No more questioning, no more asking, you just move from here. Really, it was that moment I woke up and then I said, I'm going to work with dogs.
How long did that take from the time you started working at the daycare with dogs till that December, that day when you wake up?
I think that the working with dogs was probably at the beginning of the year.
So almost 12 months.
Almost.
And you don't know what switch in you that you wake up that day and say,
Don't know, it was
it's set.
Yeah.
I will work with dogs.
Yeah, it was a very strong,
Desire.
yeah, it felt like a calling too, know,
Wow.
like I'm going to work with dogs. Of course, then the question of then how, how am I going to get dogs? How am I going to work with dogs? I don't have any skills or qualification.
Training, no nothing, right?
Yeah, I just want to work with dogs. It's macam like airy fairy, yeah. I want to be the queen of that kind. But then it was very different, compared to those very airy fairy I want things.
So this you have that conviction in
Yes.
your heart.
Yes.
In you.
Yeah, it was a very clear conviction. That conviction was, I'm going to work with dogs. That's it, So how, where, like maybe even when, no
Nothing of
answer,
that.
no.
No answer.
No
But
answer.
you just knew. So in one way or another, if I can process it for you, it's like you kind of feel convicted. So the why is there.
Yeah, the
Right?
why was
The
there.
why was there. But the other W's and the H didn't appear.
No, didn't.
Very interesting.
That was my challenge.
That was your challenge. Why would you say that it is your challenge?
Because there was completely no direction. There's no role model to follow. There was no business that
That you
I
can
look,
emulate.
yeah, that I look at and I'm like, oh, I want to do this. There wasn't anything for me to.
How long ago was this, Joy? Because now in Singapore we have quite a lot of this, right?
Yeah.
So how long ago was this?
13 years ago.
13 years ago. Oh,
Yeah.
so those days market was still very
Different.
new, very different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
So, very interestingly, right, that day when I said, I'm going to work with dogs, I only told 2 people in my life. One was my husband. We were newly married.
Okay.
Of course, he got shocked, right? Then he called me, Xiao.
I can imagine his face when he scold you and say that to you. I can imagine his face already.
Yeah, really, no? The whole thing, Xiao.
For your information, audience, if you don't know what xiao means, xiao is like a Hokkien word in Singapore, means crazy.
Yeah, gila,
Gila.
So, of course, then the question of, how are you going to get your clients? What are you going to do? All these questions start coming up. And I just kept saying, I don't know. I don't know.
I can imagine how much of irritation it builds in him, knowing your husband process-driven, step-by-step clarity.
Yeah, this is like... And then I told my sister. Okay, so these are the only 2 people I told in my life at that point of time. And I think it was the next day. Next day or the day after, I can't remember, but it was very, very close to the day when I said I'm going to work with dogs. Okay, my sister called me and she said, Dad, I've got a friend who has 2 dogs,
Okay.
2 new dogs.
Okay.
But she hasn't owned any dogs before. Can you help her? Dad, she said, and the story of that friend having those 2 dogs, right, was so interesting. She was actually just standing at the roadside, and the 2 dogs came to her.
Are they stray dogs?
They're stray dogs.
Oh.
Yeah, came to her, right?
Uh-huh.
And she just took them in.
And
looked-
they willingly follow her.
apparently, she took them back home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it was near where her family worked.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's familiar grounds for her.
Familiar ground.
Okay.
So she took. But the thing was, she didn't have any background in terms of caring for dogs.
Okay.
She just, out of
Kind heart.
Yeah, kind-heartedness, she took them in. And so, she's my sister's friend. So my sister told me about this, and she said, "How? You want to help?" Then I said,
Of course.
"Wow! I mean, since I want to work with dogs, I mean, I'll go for it." So it was my first business trip, because I actually had to spend overnight, with her friend, to look after the dogs.
Oh, I see. So you actually have to sleep over
Sleep over at her friend's place
to care for the 2
to
dogs.
care for the 2 dogs, because dogs, right? I mean, now being at where I am, I
13
understand.
years later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I understand the kind of care that dogs need, especially if they're not familiar in a new environment.
Okay.
And a lot of like support and a lot of care and attention is needed. Yeah.
I
But
see.
at that point of time, I just took that leap of faith.
And then start caring for your
Start caring already.
2 new clients.
Wow, yeah. I tell you, those 2 clients grew with me
Amazing.
all the way.
Amazing.
All the way. I last year, one of them actually passed away because of old age.
Okay.
And, I mean, imagine, right?
Yeah,
From
yeah.
puppy. And he had cancer as well. Yeah. So, yeah lah. I mean, I thought about those days when, wow, first started with them, brought them for their first sterilization, trained them how to walk even, helped them to socialize. And now, at this phase where they are old, yeah, it's really, really a journey. I wouldn't replace it with anything.
Wow. And as you say, I can feel your heart really, opening up, and I can sense you feel so much for them. So you mentioned that you had no training. So eventually, did you go and get yourself trained because you know now this is your path? So did something like this happen?
Yes. So, as I progress,
Yes.
I ask myself questions like, okay, what do I need in order to be able to know more about dogs, to be able to take care of them better? So then I went to read up on stuff, and then of course one of the things was to be able to be equipped with certain training skills so that I can communicate better with dogs and understand them better. I think the priority was more like I want to be able to understand them. Yeah, I want to be able to know how they work, and also to help them to understand us. So in the end, right, I took a certification. It's a Karen Pryor certification.
In Singapore?
I mean, I did for a while in Singapore, but then I had to fly to the States to do my exams.
I see.
Yeah, and to complete the overall certification in that sense.
I see.
So why I chose that course, right, was because it was not just training dogs. I get to actually learn how to train other animals too.
I see. So it was a course not only for dogs, it was an animal course whereby you learn about other animals too.
Yes, I mean apparently they use a science-based method,
Okay.
To train, but the certification is like dog training certification, okay. But the opportunity and the science and the learning and all expand to other animals as well.
I see.
And not just animals, no, humans too.
Wow.
So fun. So I get to train my husband, my kids.
Did you ever tell your husband that you actually train him?
He knows.
He knows. I can so imagine.
Okay, but yeah. Okay, sorry.
So with all this happening, is that the birth of your business possible?
In a way.
I see.
in a
So
way,
after the training, after
actually,
you came back.
even before that, right? I guess it was like a little evolution. We evolved over that period of time.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started with that 2 dogs, and then I tell you, miraculously, right, dogs started coming to me. And
On the road or as a business?
in the air? No. As in, okay, so example, after knowing that 2 dogs, right, the next one, right, was this lady who I just got to meet, and then she just shared and said, hey, I just received a complaint because her dog kept barking, and her neighbors were affected.
I see.
So she said, of anyone who can help? Then me? So I shared with her, I said, I'm starting this. So, I can help, with a minimal fee. That time was really minimal, because, I was...
For you, it's more like gaining experience, hands-on experience. I can imagine that.
Yeah. Okay, can. Okay, so that was the third no. Then I tell you how we, the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, and so on, how they came in was really through moments like that, where, we talk, and then, okay. So actually I never advertised myself or even my school for at least probably 9 years.
Wow.
Everything was word of mouth.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you must really do a very good job. That's why people are willing to, in some ways, share the trust,
Yeah.
right? Because when you give referrals and so on and so forth, you're giving part of your trust away.
Yes.
Wow.
So the reason why I started having some form of like, I wouldn't call it advertisement, but some form of presence in social media, because I never even had any website or any Facebook or Instagram or whatsoever. I didn't have any of that until 9 years later.
Year. Wow.
Reason is because people started to want to interview me. So the media, the press, even the minister, yeah, because they found out about
Which minister is this? So interesting.
Oh, the AABS one. Yeah.
I see. That's why it pushes you to be on social media, because of all these avenues coming in, all these opportunities coming in.
Yes, and because people started asking me a lot of questions, right? So I might as well just put everything online. Then I can always
once only. Go and read yourself.
Yeah. You can find more information through here, like that. Yeah.
So in every business, right, Joy, there are challenges. What would you say are your top 3 biggest challenges when you first started the business?
Okay, I think the first one was not having a direction. I think previously I mentioned, right, that I knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't have anyone to emulate. I didn't have any business that I can copy or follow. It was like completely new. So that was one of my challenges. I had to figure out exactly
Everything.
How to move forward with what I said I wanted. And but I guess the good thing was I had a mission. And the mission was to actually discover the potentials of dog and to develop on it, So I was very interested to know, like, wow, how intelligent a dog is, like
So
what are
while
the
you
gifts
care
and
for
talents.
them, while you develop them, your mission is to discover their wisdom.
Yes. Oh, I really love that. And step by step, I started creating curriculums that can help to bring that out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice,
So that was
nice.
how the school started.
I saw videos of your dogs actually playing musical instruments. Is that right?
Oh, of course.
It is not AI.
No,
videos,
cannot.
Right? It's
no.
real, right?
Real.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Then, other than that, what other challenges did you face?
I think at that point of time, back then, I was also a young mom. As in, I was pregnant.
Okay.
And then I gave birth, and so as I was building the business, right, I was also going through motherhood.
Wow.
And I think most mothers can actually relate to this. When you just give birth, that whole period, right, it's very trying, and
You're still healing, isn't it?
Yes.
You're still healing, and you're
Every
trying to
part of
care
me.
for a young baby, a newborn, and
Yeah.
at the same time, you're building your dog enrichment business.
Yeah.
So that was very trying.
Wow, yeah. That was really trying. I think at that point of time, I even fell into depression because it took so much out of me, So those days were very, very dark, very difficult. And I remembered that there were times where I really wanted to give up, like part of me. But no matter how many times I say, I want to give up,
The one already.
there's this part of me that tells me, cannot, because haven't even, discovered yet. You haven't even done like so much work yet. There's still plenty more to go.
I see. So something in you that become one now, like I'm not going to give up because I haven't fully gave it all.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. That was the only reason why I carried on.
I see. Was it at that point that your husband, I mean, I understand that your husband is also in the business with you right now. So at which point did your husband join you in the business?
Oh, a month later, after I said I want to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. From xiao and crazy, right?
To
like
supporting you, being your biggest cheerleader.
Yes.
And so now both of you are still in the business together.
Yes.
Was it one of your challenges that you have to face? I know he's going to watch this video, but I'm still going to ask anyway.
Of course, there was certain point, in our journey that we fought, especially at the beginning. Can you imagine? There's so many decisions to make, right? And having to communicate and decide, and having to debate, about which is better. Tell you, those days, I think the fights have allowed us to learn so much more about each other.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes, now I can say that, right? Now.
13 years later. But when you were in those moments, it must be so painful, so trying.
Sometimes I feel like either, having his head roll or my head roll, because it's so painful.
And those days, that was before your 3 daughters came along.
Before, and then after that, the first one.
Okay.
I think that period was really tough because everything was just so new, right? Like newly married, newly have this business, new child, new child. I mean, having to go through.
Firstborn.
Yes, like having to go through the whole pregnancy, and then giving birth. So everything was completely new. Yeah, I tell you that. I think now on hindsight, right? I mean, when I look back, it has definitely given both of us that opportunity to really learn about each other, communication style, how we work, how we make decisions, what he's how he thinks and how I think.
I mean, knowing both of you, you're actually quite miles apart. That's why you complement one another.
Right? Interesting.
You are such a big picture person. He's such a process-driven, step-by-step, man. I can imagine your type of fights.
Sometimes we're like, sometimes I will ask like, why can't you see? And he'll be like, yeah, why can't you see? But, over the years, we realized that our fights really get shorter and shorter.
Because you get to know one another better.
Yes. Yeah.
So those are the 3 major challenges that you had
working with your partner. I have some friends who ask me, can how you work with your husband?
At what cost?
At what
because
cost?
It's really hard, right? You can imagine you're in the business together and you go home together. So there is actually no boundaries, physical, time. In every sense, there is no boundary. So how do you actually keep that rooted and grounded in that marriage with new businesses, with so many dogs, and with a newborn? Wow. You have come a long way, Miss Joy Chia.
I've grown.
And hearing your story, your dog enrichment business is really one I don't think I can find in any textbook, right? Growing up in our, I don't want to say in our era. Then you will blame me. You will blame me. I pull you into my era. But honestly, even now, right, in the textbook and in your ambition, I don't think opening a dog enrichment school has been written. So how do you keep yourself, I would say, rooted and committed to building a school? And I'm sure there will be a lot of questions asking you, Why are you doing this? What are you doing? So what keeps you committed and focused on building your school? And how do you even, on those dark, difficult days, keep going?
I think it falls back on two things. One is my mission. Yeah.
Because you still want to discover the
I do.
wisdom of dogs.
I do,
right?
yeah. Another one is back to the day when I made that commitment and say, I want to work with dogs. I asked myself this question, if let's say, I were to die in that sense. But before that, I asked myself this question, will I regret not working with dogs? Right? The answer was yes, So when that was very clear, right, that, in my life, if I didn't work with dogs, I would regret it. That was the thing that really pushed me. And I asked myself, okay, so what if I fail? Right? What if I don't make it? Fail? At least I've
tried. You
I
give your best.
heeded my calling in that sense. Because really, sometimes I ask myself, how did all these things happen? Like, from very, very difficult beginnings, all the way to evolving into a school, evolving into a place where, now I have students who are able to do many things. Yeah.
When you say students, these are your dogs,
My
right?
dogs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do
many things, including, can you name us some examples?
Oh, for example, like some of them, they can even distinct alphabets.
Wow.
Yeah, flashcards. I use my kids' flashcard, then I work with them.
Amazing.
Yeah. And the reason why I feel that they can do it was because when I was in the States, right, I went to this school. And then there were flashcards, on the wall. And I'm like, there's a dog, like it's for dogs, right? And there are no kids around. So
why
are there flashcards?
Yeah.
And they said, because the dogs can read. And that time, that school, right, was for dogs like guide dogs, dogs that can
Dogs of
assist.
service.
Yeah, dog service. And so I was so impressed, and I said, our Singapore dogs are smarter. I'm sure they can even read Chinese. So at one point of time when I was growing this business, I actually taught my students then Mandarin. And it's not like my Mandarin is great.
Oh yeah, man. I was about to ask you teaching Mandarin, your Mandarin half past, not even 6.
But because of them, I had to improve, So I actually printed out their names. Like I had one, who, she had a Chinese name called Chunhua. And then it's very cute. She was this little pug, And then I printed another Chinese word. And so I taught her to read,
Her own name.
her own name.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that means you have different Chinese character, which is not Chunhua, and then you teach her to recognize her name. Chunhua.
Yes. And so when I switch the cards
order?
around, right, she will go back to her name.
Amazing.
Yeah. And then during mid-autumn, sometimes I will conduct my classes in Chinese. I'll do my best, to and then so I'll put mid-autumn stuff on the floor. Mooncake, lantern, pomelo, and then I will teach them the items in Mandarin.
Oh.
And so when I said things like柚子
Oh, not bad.
柚子在哪里? Then they will have to go to the 柚子, the pomelo, and tap it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is called object recognition.
Object recognition for
but
the dogs.
I do it in Mandarin. Can you imagine Joy Chia in Mandarin? Then I had some aspect clients, right, who were so happy. They actually, called me and they said, wow, I'm so glad you did this, because now when I go supermarket, I know pomelo is 柚子,
Oh, because through their fur kids, they
They
learn.
learn.
Amazing. So
Yeah.
through their fur kids, the fur parents learn something new.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
very enriching.
It is, right? And then at one point of time, even I taught them dialects. Because I had clients, right, who actually shared with me, Joy, I showed the video to my parents, but they don't understand English, Yeah, they speak in Hokkien, I said, no problem. I can also teach in Hokkien. Yeah, so I started teaching Hokkien and Teochew, minimal, but, like simple, but in that dialect.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything like this before.
I know.
Are you the first one
I
in the whole of Singapore to do this?
Don't know. Maybe?
Wow.
Yeah.
If I knew, I would send both my kids to be your interns, then they can learn.
Sure.
Then maybe their Chinese and dialect can improve
Improve.
other than the dogs. That's really, really interesting. That's really interesting. Okay. Then, we briefly touched about when you were down, right? You had the 3 biggest challenges when you first started the business. I'm sure along the way, there were also moments you were down, you feel challenged. What do you do when you feel challenged and when you're down, Joy?
Even up to now, the first thing that I would do, right, is to actually go to my room. So I'll tell everybody, I say, I need some time alone. So I'll go to my room and I'll spend some time in prayer and meditation.
So your faith is the one that lifts you up
Yeah.
when you're down.
Yeah. I feel that the most important thing every time when I go into prayer and meditation is to have that calm heart, that neutrality. Otherwise, I'll be making decisions or saying things based on whatever state that I was.
So your emotions might have you say things, make decisions which might have you regret.
Yes. Yeah.
So you want that momentary time out.
Yeah.
So that we can recollect.
Yes.
And we can ask for help in one way or another.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you do that, how much time do you usually take, depending on the situation?
I think depending on the situation. So usually what I do is, especially like in the mornings, right, I'll wake up an hour earlier and I'll just spend some time in prayer.
So faith have been the one that been supporting and holding you throughout this whole journey of building a business, being a mother, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Oh. That's something that currently in the market, or not many people openly share that. I mean, as a Muslim, that's what I do, right? Because sometimes as a human being, that's all you can do.
Yeah.
Where do you get that, I would say, divine help? And where you can really cry out and really express all of your disappointment, your pains, your fear, right? But still having the Lord holding you, that comfort is indescribable.
Yeah.
No humans can replace. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's come to knowing you. You're very, very cheerful. You're always very positive. What would you say are, mindsets or attitudes that you encourage business owners to possess, such that they can continue to rise and continue to make an impact in whatever business they do? What would you say are those mindset and attitude?
Okay, I think the first one would probably be this: love yourself. Yeah, I say love yourself. The come from that, right, is actually to guard your heart. To protect.
Tell us more. This is so important, and this is so
reason is
interesting.
because as you're running a business, right, there'll be a lot of people who will want to tell you things, because they are supportive. But some of them, they just want to contribute.
Okay.
But sometimes, unknowingly, the words they say, or sometimes, they think they're contributing, but actually they're not. And it can really hurt, as in, or they might say things that that are negative, so from criticism to casual comments to things that people might say or even make fun of. Those are things that can tear a business down. Can you imagine when I years ago when I said I wanted to do art with the dogs? I actually had an artist who actually told me, "You're so cruel. How can you do art with dogs? It's like the elephants, They have to use their trunk and paint. So cruel. You cannot ask dogs to do art."
And this is someone you know, an artist you know.
Yeah. And for that moment, I took a step back and I actually didn't start on my art until a while later, because I had to really go through that whole thought process of, am I being cruel?
Because it clashes with your intention. So your initial intention to let your dogs learn art was to actually discover more of their wisdom.
Yeah,
talent
that's right.
and wisdom. But this so-called friend of yours who's an artist actually see it from another perspective.
Yeah.
And his or her harsh words actually have you in some ways have you doubt yourself.
Yeah.
And have you checked in.
Which was good.
Yeah, which was good, right?
Yeah, now if anyone say that, I can say, which part of it is cruel?
Because you have already lived through that and you have already experimented that and your dogs were fine.
Yes. And it's not like, I ask my dogs to
lap it out.
Like use their tail and where. No. Nothing of that sort. In fact, I actually help them to build skills like targeting. So targeting is where they use any part of their body to touch an object. These are basic foundational skills. Then from there, right, I help them to kind of use their paw to, like own self, dab paint, and then paint onto the canvas. Things like that. And of course, we help them to clean it off.
And I'm sure those material that you use are dog friendly.
Yeah, they are kids friendly, basically.
Okay. And so when you say guard your heart, you also mean in one sense or another being a bit more sure and not take every comment and feedback as seriously as one should?
In a way. I mean, there'll be people who want to, give you their point of view or to share with you their opinions. And I think it's fine. At the end of the day, it's also to be discerning.
Yeah, that word came out for me. But how do you learn to discern? Because everybody, I suppose, who comes with the intention of care, I want to contribute to you like what you say. So how do you discern when to let certain things come in and when to, keep them at bay?
I think it all falls back again on the intention. So let's say if I want to do something or I want to start something, I will ask around and I will share, hey, you got any ideas or, and, whatever feedback I get, so I look at it and I ask myself, okay, if I were to do it this way, like, will it work? If it will work, what are the prices that I'm paying, so I weigh out the costs
and benefits.
Yeah. And of course, if I didn't ask, but people just want to tell me, good also, because then I will listen, and then from there, I will ask myself, okay, do we really need to change this? Do we really need to do this? How will it benefit everyone? So then I will question. So I've learned to question.
Put more question into what people give in terms of comments and feedback.
Yes.
Then you will derive at, I would say, a point whereby you decide whether to take this in or not.
Yes.
Okay.
Of course, I will also discuss it with close ones, and
people
ask
who
for
have
their...
built the business with you and so on and so forth. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other mindset or attitude?
Yeah. I think another one would probably be surrendering.
Oh,
Oh, I
in
tell
what
you.
way? Surrendering.
The word surrender is so powerful. I tell you, yes.
Surrender to what? Surrender to who?
Okay. Whatever that you believe, okay, probably another word is called letting go. Okay. So when I talk about surrender or letting go, basically I'm talking about things that didn't work out. Okay. Like there were some challenges in my life where, hey, it didn't go to where I wanted it to go. You know, I didn't have what I wanted to have. At certain points, I had to make difficult decisions. And I think at that point of time, it's just important to set your intention, but at the same time, also letting go. Letting go of that need.
The outcome.
Letting go of the outcome,
Okay.
how it looks like.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, right, it maybe okay, I want to give an example.
Please do.
Okay. So for example, I didn't want to become a trainer. I said that, right? I didn't want to become a trainer. And I, after my whole certification, and the reason why I took that certification was because I wanted to understand dogs better, not because I wanted to train them. Okay. So when I came back, the natural thing to do was to train dogs, right? Set up puppy classes, do one-on-one training or whatever group training. I didn't want to do that at all. I resisted it because I didn't want to become a trainer, you know. And my husband was there like, "Come on now, you've got your
natural
cert."
path for him to see that, but for you, you resisted.
Yeah, I got all the knowledge, all the skills equipped. Now I can understand dog better, but I didn't want to train. You know, and at that point of time, it was tough because it was like I had to train, right?
Because this is the path towards something bigger that you want to do.
Yeah. So anyway, you know, I had people nudging me and telling me, you should do this, you should do that, you know, start this, start that. And I think at the point of time, I in a way, I surrendered. And I let go. And I said, okay, if I have to train, right, then in a way I prayed and I said, God, then show me, open the doors and show me how can I train. I know how to train, but how can I do it with joy, you know, and with fun? And so the answer came. And that was, I'm a person who loves music. Yeah, I love playing different instruments. And so I asked myself, can my students do that with me? Can they also play with me? And that was the start of my music class.
It's so interesting how you said, Joy. So you resisted being a dog trainer.
Yeah.
Yet you wanted to discover the wisdom of dogs.
Yeah. I thought there's a magic way to discover.
Not through training, but magic way.
Magic, yeah.
But then you surrender to the fact that through